Well, welcome once again to our Community Outreach Update Show, and I'm your host, Mary Ann Williams. We're talking today with Mr. Dan Rypma, who is the Department Chair of our Health, Physical Education, and Recreational Department here at MCC. Now, Dan, you've been with us how long now?
This is my 12th year as an employee of MCC. The first 7 years I was a full-time instructor here, and the last 5 years I've been the department chair as well as teaching in the physical education department.
Oh, that's awesome. We are so happy to have him with us today. Now, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, good. Can I call you Dan?
I would like. That'd be fine, Mary.
Oh, okay, very good. Now, there's a numerous of activities that we have right here on our campus that are happening for our students. Not only do we educate them with their mind, we have good activities that help them with their health and physical recreational fun. Would you like to share some of those with us today?
Yeah, outside of our normal physical education classes that we offer every semester, we also have a campus recreation program ran by Jessica Graff, one of our full-time physical education instructors. And some of the events that we have coming up for the fall, for example, we have a kayaking event this coming Friday, wow. October 3. Yep, it's exciting. We have a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, October 9 on a Thursday. We also have a Jayhawk 5K run and walk on Friday, October 10. And we also have a softball tournament on Monday, October 13. And if you have any questions on this, you want to look things up, Jody Miller is the person you want to basically get a hold of, and it's jody.miller@muskegoncc.edu, and it can be found on the website.
Well, that's great. Now, we all thought that the HPR department, is what we call it here at MCC, was just for giving them book learning, but there's a lot of things other from listening to your list. Can anyone come and sign up for that, or do they have to be an MCC student?
They have to be an MCC student, or they can be a spouse or an employee as well. Okay. So we kind of open it up to more than just the MCC student, because we have a lot of married people on campus, obviously. So we want to give their spouse an opportunity, especially in some of the events they might enjoy participating in, like the 5K, for example, where it can be more of a family type event, possibly even.
Yes, now let's talk a little bit about that 5K. Is it the walk, run, jog, or is it specific?
You could do whatever you feel you're comfortable. Some people are going to be walking, some people are going to be walking, running, other people are just going to be running. So again, whatever you feel comfortable doing that day.
Oh, good. Now, can employees of MCC
Sure,
participate?
definitely. We encourage that. Usually we have a handful of employees that definitely come out to the event and run and things like that. So yeah, it's usually a real good turnout.
Well, that's great. Now, I believe the educational point of physical ed department, that is a requirement. Can you speak a little bit about that for those who are looking to graduate?
Yeah, to graduate from MCC with your associate's degree, it's mandatory that you take 2 physical education classes, Mary. You have to take 1 in each discipline. We have 2 different disciplines. The first discipline is the core classes, we call it, where the 5 classes consist of PEA 118, which is a cycling class, a PEA 104, which is a running, jogging, and conditioning class, or a PEA 101, which is a fitness and wellness and nutrition class, or a PEA 201, which is an aerobics class, or a PA 103, which is a weight training class. You have to take one class in one of those 5 classes. You have to take 1 of the 5, okay, to graduate. Then after that, your second class that you may take can be anything from martial arts to archery to bowling, whatever activity class you'd like to take. So again, you do have to take 2 PE classes, 1 in the core, which is the 5 courses I just mentioned, or you can take 1 of the activity courses for your second one to graduate.
Okay, now that sounds interesting. Are there any absorptions, or if you're older, are there any exceptions to the rule?
No, really not.
Okay.
We try to moderate. We have people potentially that are maybe a non-traditional type student, for example. And I say non-traditional, I'm just giving an example, a 35-year-old mother that comes back to school that has 3 children, and she might have some physical limitations because of maybe a car accident or something like that, and she's not able to do push-ups comfortably. Instead of doing push-ups on the floor, we'll have them do them off the wall, you know. And we modify every exercise we can. Some people can't jump rope, so while the whole class is potentially jump roping, they might be walking the stairs. So they are going to be participating in our activities, just maybe not the same exact one the rest of the class is doing, but they will definitely be active during the class.
Well, that's wonderful. Not only are you exercising the mind of our students, we're also exercising bodies for good health as well.
Yes, for sure.
And that's wonderful. Now, what do our students take from these programs? Have you had any students come back and talk about what MCC did for them and how they worked with them in these required courses?
Yeah, we have a lot of students that will come, and with the population as it is, being 60% of the population being overweight, of course, and 30% being obese. Well, again, we're going to have some students in our classes that don't feel comfortable doing certain activities. So we're going to try to modify them as much as we can, and maybe kind of get them on a workout path they might have never chose before. And we get surprised, you know, they'll come back to us a few months later and they'll say, because of your class, I now have a gym membership at the local YMCA in the area, and things like that. And I've become more active now with my spouse or whoever. And it's exciting to hear those kind of things. It's rewarding.
Well, that's great. And your enthusiasm just spills over to everyone else. So I really appreciate you. I've been here almost 25 years. So knowing you all that time, I've never seen you have a bad day. So it's something to be said about being HPR director.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's do a little talking about physical health. You touched on it a little bit about our state being a little obese.
Yes.
And what is one thing that you can share with us? Can maybe just one little piece of advice, take a walk around the campus, or just something that you can share with us?
We try to share the 10,000 rule, meaning 10,000 steps a day. If you can do 10,000 steps a day, which is equivalent to 5 miles, and on top of that, if you could also read 10,000 words, which is an average of 40 pages in a book. So think about the 10,000. You know, so many people, the average person only walks 2,000 to 4,000 miles, 2,000 to 4,000 steps a day, when they really need 10,000. So that means the average person is not walking very much or exercising very much, and the average person is only reading about 200 to 400 pages a day. And we really would like them to read 10,000 words a day and have 10,000 steps a day to become not only physically healthy, but mentally healthy as well.
Yes, and so that's that mental fitness that we talk about.
Yeah.
Right. And I noticed around campus that the dynamics or the number of back to school age group has changed a little bit. And so those are issues that everyone could take a step. Is that correct?
Right.
You know, and that's interesting because we are also working on a women's health fair that will be happening on our campus in November. So as we talk about healthy things, we talk about how we can love ourselves healthy. Exactly. So that's good to hear that. Well, we're almost out of time, but I want you to be able to expound on if you have any announcements or something that you want to share with us. I'm just so happy to have you here with me. I don't want to cut you off, but so why don't you go ahead and share some things with me?
I just want to let everyone know that how important it is to be physically and mentally healthy, because it really is important. When you're physically happy, then most of the time you're mentally happy, you're socially happy, and that's so important, you know, to feel good about yourself. Yes. You have to love yourself before you can love others, as they say.
Yes.
And I think that's some of that goes hand in hand when we talk about physically working out. It's so important every day. And I know everyone is busy. I totally understand that. But if you can find 10 minutes before work in the morning to just get up and do some push-ups and sit-ups and jumping jacks or anything just to get your heart pumping and things like that and your blood flowing, that would be great. And at lunchtime, I know a lot of ladies here at the college, they bring extra tennis shoes with them. I know, Mary, you have your tennis shoes on today, and a lot of people walk during their lunch hours. And you know, whether you work in a hospital or whether you work in an office or something, if you can just find time to spend 10 minutes walking at your lunch hour, you really will improve your health dramatically.
Now that's good. Well, thank you, Dan, for being with us today. We're so pleased to have you here with us, and we're glad that you could join us on such a short notice. I know you're busy. Your enthusiasm for health and fitness really spills over, and I mean that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And, well, you've been watching here at Community Outreach Update Show, and I am Mary Ann Williams. And if you wanted to know, we are on the web, www.muskegonccc.edu/CE. And I expect to see you real soon. But before we go, I do want to mention that on November 15th, we will host a women's health fair entitled Love Yourself Healthy. And that will start at 8 in the morning and end at 3 with our keynote speaker, Adrienne Hopkins of Access Health in Muskegon. Well, My time is almost up, but I'll see you next time. Have a great day.